told, we can go straight across to our reporter, Fahmida Miller, who's joining us live from the Massai Mara National Reserve. Fahmida, just give our viewers a sense of where you are right now and what you're seeing around you.
Good afternoon. Well, we're located northwest of the Massai Mara Game Reserve here in the Massai Mara, and we're just a couple of meters away from the river, and that's marks one of the larger crossing points for thousands of wildebeest and zebra that plan to cross it over the next coming weeks and even until October. Now, if we look to my left, we'll see a number of wildebeest as well as zebra that have gathered in the plains here, and that is ahead of them crossing the Mara River. The number we see here aren't as many as in some of the past days, where we've seen thousands at a time coming across the plains, gathering in a spot not far from the Mara River where they intend to cross. And as you had mentioned earlier, they come from the Serengeti in Tanzania. They cross into, they travel in a northerly direction, and they travel into the Massai Mara. And that, of course, is one of the major highlights, especially for anybody wanting to watch exactly what's going on, is the crossing specifically of that Mara River.
And tell us why that is such a big challenge for these animals, the crossing of the Mara River. That's where the predators are, the crocodiles and the lions. If you could get your camera person to try and pan right where the river is, to your right, we can get a better sense of why that's such a big challenge and such a fascinating viewing thing.
Now, if we look at where the river is, unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to get you a really good view from where we're positioned right now. But within the next 120 minutes, we certainly will get those pictures to you, specifically of the crossing points. We've been looking at that over the last few days. Just at this time, we were focusing on the animals, as I pointed out, that were on the left of where I'm positioned. Now, if you look at where they tried to cross, this, of course, is, as you'd mentioned, very interesting, very treacherous. You've got predators in the water, you've got crocodiles and even hippos that can be an obstacle, and even the banks of the river, they're at such an incline that many of the animals struggle to get up on the other side. Now, ideally, what the wildebeest and what the zebra are looking for when they cross a river is a crossing that would be as smooth as possible, and this isn't always the case. This is often sometimes the last thing wildebeest will see as they continue with this migration, because they simply don't make it. What they'll try to look for is placid water, calm water that wouldn't necessarily hide any predators. And also on the other side of the river, what they'll look for is a limited amount of vegetation that wouldn't hide any predators, that would allow for a smooth crossing. And many people have asked how it is that they choose particular crossing points. They ecologists who say that this is based on an inherent instinct. They know where they want to go because this has been done for generation after generation. And sometimes if you look at where they cross, traveling from the Serengeti, they also have to go through a number of other rivers as well as smaller lakes. And even if a lake is a smaller size, rather than just walk around it a few kilometers, they instead go through the lake. So even though they're scared of water, they're concerned about predators, there is an inherent instinct that pushes them in a specific direction, and come what may, they follow that direction.
Well, it's amazing, isn't it? We as humans, we tend to underestimate how much instinct animals have. Thanks very much, Fahmida Miller, for joining us. I'm sure we'll be in touch with you through the course of our 2-hour coverage here on CCTV News.